Good morning, students.
Good morning, ma'am.
Okay, all of you, please switch on your videos. So, in our last class, we were discussing about moving coil galvanometer. We just defined this moving coil galvanometer and introduced the principle behind the working of moving coil galvanometer. So, Dia, what do you mean by moving coil galvanometer?
It is a device which is used to determine the presence of
Detect the presence of current. So, moving coil galvanometer is a device that is used to detect the presence of current in a circuit. Then, Michael, what is the principle of moving coil galvanometer?
Green loop is placed in a uniform magnetic field that experiences a torque.
Okay, very good. When a current carrying conductor is placed in a uniform magnetic field, it experiences a torque. Okay, so that is the working principle of moving coil galvanometer. So let us see the construction and working of moving coil galvanometer. So all of you write the next heading, construction and working of moving coil galvanometer. So galvanometer is a device that is used to detect the presence of current in a circuit. Now we can explain the construction and working of the moving coil galvanometer. The moving coil galvanometer consists of a rectangular coil. It consists a rectangular coil. It consists a rectangular coil with the n number of turns, capital N. It consists a rectangular coil with the n number of turns. It consists of a rectangular coil with the n number of turns and placed between the poles of a strong concave shaped magnet. It consists of a rectangular coil with the n number of turns and placed between the poles of a strong concave shaped magnets. Yes.
Strong concave shape.
Magnet. And it is placed between the poles of a strong concave shaped magnet such that it can freely rotate between the poles. Such that it can freely rotate between the poles of the magnet. Such that it can freely rotate between the poles of a magnet. So here we consider a rectangular coil. This is our rectangular coil. This rectangular coil is with the n number of turns. It is placed between the poles of a strong concave shaped magnet. What do you mean by concave shape? As its name implies, it is cave like structure. That is, it is curved inside. A magnet with a curved inside. I think you may familiar with that of concave and convex. As its name implies, concave, cave-like structure, just like a cave to inside, or it is curved to inside. Okay. So this rectangular coil with the n number of turns placed between the poles of a between the poles of a strong poles of a concave shaped magnet, such that this rectangular coil can freely rotate between the poles of the magnet. The poles of the magnet produce the
Ma'am,
pole. Yes, Achut.
both of the magnets, like North Pole and South Pole, both are concave.
Both are in concave. Both are concave shape. Now the poles of the magnet. Produce a radial magnetic field. The poles of the magnet produce a radial magnetic field with that of the rectangular coil. The poles of the magnet produce a radial magnetic field with that of the rectangular coil. A pointer is attached. A pointer is attached. A pointer is attached to the upper end of the coil. A pointer is attached to the upper end of the coil to measure the readings. A pointer is attached at the upper end of the coil to measure the readings. So here you can see a pointer is attached to the upper end of the coil in order to measure the readings. And a spiral spring attached at the bottom of the rectangular coil, or you can write pivot. A spiral spring pivoted at the bottom of the rectangular coil to produce a restoring torque. Yes.
Bottom of
A spiral spring pivoted. A spiral spring pivoted at the bottom of the coil to produce a restoring torque. So in this figure, you can see a spiral spring. This is attached at the bottom of the rectangular coil in order to produce a restoring torque. So this is the construction of moving coil galvanometer. So the moving coil galvanometer is consist of a rectangular coil with a n number of turns, and it is placed between the poles of a strong concave shaped magnets. Between the poles of a concave shaped magnets, and these concave shaped magnets can produce a radial magnetic field with that of the rectangular coil. Now when we are focusing on this rectangular coil, we can find a pointer is attached at the top of the coil in order to measure the reading, and a spiral spring pivoted at the bottom of the coil. Since it is a three-dimensional figure, you cannot find it is exactly at the bottom. The bottom of the coil is attached or pivoted to a spiral spring in order to produce a restoring torque. So this is the construction of the moving coil galvanometer. Is it clear? Any doubt? Okay, so moving coil galvanometer is a device that is used to detect the presence of current, and it is working based on the principle that when a current carrying conductor placed in a magnetic field, here the current carrying conductor is nothing, this is our rectangular coil. So whenever this rectangular coil is placed between the poles of a magnet, it experiences a torque. So that is what is the working principle behind this moving coil galvanometer. Okay. So now we are explaining the construction. Rectangular coil with n number of turns placed between the poles of a magnet, and the shape of the magnet is concave in order to produce a radial magnetic field with that of the rectangular coil. The top of the rectangular coil is attached to a pointer to measure the readings. So the pointer can measure the readings from this scale attached to it. And the bottom of the rectangular coil is pivoted to a spiral spring in order to produce a restoring torque. So this is the construction. Now we can explain the working of this rectangular moving coil galvanometer. Yes.
Can you show the last page in which you drew the figure?
Okay, okay. This one?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So now the working of moving coil galvanometer. Okay. When a current I is passing through the rectangular coil, all of you write the next sentence. When a current, capital I, when a current I passing through the rectangular coil, when a current I passing through the rectangular coil, it experiences a force, and undergoes a rotation. When a current I is passing through this rectangular coil, it experiences a force and thereby undergoes a rotation. And this rotational effect of the coil, this rotational effect of the coil in a uniform magnetic field is known as dash. What is that? This rotational effect of the rectangular coil in a uniform magnetic field is known as, any idea? We are torque. Very good. It is known as torque. So when a current I is passing through this rectangular coil, it experiences a force, thereby it undergoes a rotation, and this rotational effect of the rectangular coil is known as torque. Then the torque produced by the rectangular coil is given by, then the torque produced by the rectangular coil is given by tau is equal to, the torque produced by the rectangular coil is given by tau is equal to, what is the expression for the torque produced by a rectangular coil in a magnetic field? In our previous class, we derive an expression for that. Magnetic dipole due to, or the torque produced by the rectangular coil. Here we are considering the same rectangular coil and it is placed between a uniform magnetic field. So when a current is passing through this rectangular coil is undergoes a rotation. That rotation is known as torque. Then what is the expression for calculating the torque produced by a rectangular coil?
MB sin theta.
Yes, tau is equal to mb sin theta. So when a current I is passing through the rectangular coil that placed between the poles of a strong magnet, it experiences a torque. Okay, that is the working principle of moving coil galvanometer, or it is experiences a force. As a result, it is undergoes a rotation. That rotational effect is known as torque. And the torque produced or experienced by a rectangular coil in a uniform magnetic field is given by τ is equal to mb sine theta. Can you differentiate each term in this equation? What is m? What is m?
I into
Yes, m is nothing. It is the magnetic dipole moment, or m is equal to the product of current into area. Okay. The magnetic dipole moment m is equal to product of current into area, and b is the magnetic field. Theta is the angle between the magnetic dipole moment and that of the or the length of the conductor and that of the magnetic field. So here we know that the m is represents magnetic dipole moment. It is the product of current and area. That is m is equal to Ia. Therefore, the equation for torque becomes, instead of m, we can substitute this value Ia. Tau is equal to IAB sine theta. Tau is equal to IAB sine theta. The torque experienced by a rectangular coil inside a uniform magnetic field is given by τ is equal to mb sine theta, where m is the magnetic dipole moment, b is the magnetic field, and theta is the angle between the length of the rectangular coil and that of the magnetic field. And here the magnetic dipole moment m is the product of current into area, that is I into A. So we substitute the value of magnetic dipole moment in the first equation. It becomes tau is equal to IAB sine theta. Okay. Then for n number of turns, this equation is represent only for one number of turn. Okay. For n number of turns, we know that here we consider a rectangular coil with a n number of turns. For n number of turns, the equation becomes τ is equal to capital N into IAB sine theta. Τ is equal to capital N into IAB sine theta. Okay. So initially, what is the state of the rectangular coil? Here the magnetic field, the direction of the magnetic field is from north to south, and this rectangular coil is along the same direction. So what is the angle between them? What is the angle between that of the rectangular coil and that of the magnetic field? Here the rectangular coil and that of the magnetic field are along the same direction. So what is the angle between them?
0.
It is 0. Okay. And then when a current I is passing through the coil, what happens to a rectangular coil? It undergoes a rotation, right? Suppose you imagine this is our rectangular coil. Okay. Initially, the rectangular coil in the horizontal position. That is, the magnetic field and that of the rectangular coil are along the same direction. So the angle between them is equal to 0. So during that state, we are passing a current I through this rectangular coil. As a result, it undergoes a rotation. Okay. Inside the magnetic field, it undergoes a rotation and its position is just like this. Then what about the angle between the magnetic field and that of the rectangular coil? No idea? Initially, the direction of the magnetic field and that of the rectangular coil are along the same direction. So the angle between them is equal to 0. So then when we are passing a current through this rectangular coil, it undergoes a rotation between the poles of the magnet. So its position is just like this, that is perpendicular to the magnetic field. Then what about the direction between magnetic field and that of this rectangular coil?
90.
It is become 90 degree. I will show it here. So when a current I is passing through this rectangular coil, it undergoes a rotation And now the position of the rectangular coil is just like this. Okay. After passing the current through this rectangular coil, it undergoes a rotation. So initially the rectangular coil and that of the magnetic field are along the same direction. When a current is passing through this rectangular coil, it undergoes a rotation. So it becomes perpendicular to that of the magnetic field. Then what is the angle between this rectangular coil and that of the magnetic field? It is 90 degree. So here we get tau is equal to n into IAB sine theta. After the rotation, what happens? The magnetic field and that of the rectangular coil are mutually perpendicular to each other. They are mutually perpendicular to each other. So the angle between them, theta is equal to 90 degree. Therefore, we can write tau is equal to NIAB sine 90. What is the value of sine 90? Sine 90 is equal to 1. Therefore, tau is equal to NIAB. Is there any doubt regarding with that of the angle? Any doubt? Once again, I explain. Initially our rectangular coil are along the same direction that of the magnetic field. So there is no angle between them, between this rectangular coil and that of the magnetic field. So when we are passing the current through this rectangular coil, it experiences a force and it undergoes a rotation between the poles of the magnet. So it is rotated to this direction. Now the angle between the rectangular coil and that of the magnetic field are said to be perpendicular. They are mutually perpendicular to each other. So the angle between them is equal to 90 degree. So that is why here we taken it as tau is equal to NIAB sine theta. The angle between the magnetic field and that of the rectangular coil is 90 degree after the rotation. So tau is equal to NIAB sine theta. Tau is equal to NIAB sine 90. Since sine 90 is equal to 1, here we have tau is equal to NIAB. Okay. But at the same time, write the next sentence. But at the same time, the spiral spring attaches to the bottom of the coil. But at the same time, the spiral spring attaches at the bottom of the coil. Produces a restoring torque. Produces a restoring torque. But at the same time, the spiral spring attaches at the bottom of the coil, produces a restoring torque. And that restoring torque retwist the rectangular coil. And that restoring torque retwist the rectangular coil. At the same time, the spiral spring attaches to the bottom of the coil, produces a restoring torque. That restoring torque retwists the rectangular coil. And here, this restoring torque is directly proportional to the here the restoring torque is directly proportional to the angle of deflection phi. Here the restoring force is directly proportional to the angle of deflection phi. That is, the restoring torque, that is the restoring torque is directly proportional to phi, where phi is the angle of deflection. Okay. The restoring torque is directly proportional to phi, that is angle of deflection. So this restoring torque can be represented by toe restoring. Toe restoring is directly proportional to phi. And we can replace this proportionality sign by introducing a constant, that is toe restoring is equal to K into phi. Okay. So all of you please listen here. Initially, the rectangular coil is in a horizontal direction to that of the magnetic field, or they are along the same direction. So when a current is passing through this rectangular coil, it becomes mutually perpendicular, or it is vertical to that of the magnetic field. So at the same time, when it is rotating and becomes 90 degree with that of the magnetic field, at the same time, a spiral spring is attached to the bottom of the rectangular coil. It produces a restoring torque and it is retwist the conductor back to the initial position. That is what happens in the case of moving coil galvanometer. Is it clear? Okay. Now these two torques, here we have two torques are present. The first one is due to the rotational motion of the rectangular coil inside the uniform magnetic field. We get a one expression for the torque. Torque is equal to NIAB. But at the same time, the spiral spring produces another restoring torque. So that restoring torque is given by toe restore is equal to K phi. This is our equation number 2. These two torques are balanced to each other, or they are equal. They are equal to each other. Then only the moving coil galvanometer can be properly or correctly deflected inside it. Okay. Or the pointer can be take the correct readings if and only if these two torques are balanced to each other. So here you can write.
Ma'am,
Now the yes.
ma'am, can you tell me, ma'am, again, like how the restoring torque retwist it?
A spiral spring is attached to the bottom of the rectangular coil. Okay. A spiral spring is attached to the bottom of the rectangular coil, and that spiral spring is produces a restoring torque. That restoring torque retwists the rectangular coil back to the initial position.
Retwist means again theta will become 0, right?
Yes. It becomes again theta will be equal to 0. Okay, it is again retwist the rectangular coil means it retwist the rectangular coil back to its initial position. That is, the rectangular coil and that of the magnetic field become along the same direction. This process is repeat and repeat against the moving coil galvanometer. Whenever the current is increases, again it is perpendicular to that of the magnetic field. But at the same time, the spiral spring is produces a restoring torque. So it is retwist the rectangular coil back to its initial position. This process is repeats in an electrical circuit. Okay. So here we have two torques are there. One is the torque due to the rotational motion of the rectangular coil, and another torque is due to the restoring torque produced by the spiral coil. Now these two torques must be balanced each other. Okay. These two torques are equal, or they are said to be balanced. These two torques are equal these two torques are equal, or they are said to be balanced condition, or they are said to be under balanced condition. These two torques are equal, or they are said to be under balanced condition. So by equating these two equations, we get the two torques NIAB, or before that you can write the torque due to rotational motion equal to the torque due to restoring force by the spiral spring. The torque due to the rotational motion of this rectangular coil is given by NIAB. NIAB is equal to K into phi. What is phi? Phi is the angle of deflection. Okay. Phi is the angle of deflection. You can note it in here. Angle of phi is nothing. It is the angle of deflection. And K is the proportionality constant. So NIAB is equal to K into phi. From this, phi is equal to, can you form an equation for phi? From this equation,
AB by K.
NIAB equal to K. NIAB divided by K. Phi is equal to NIAB divided by K. And here NAB divided by K are constants. NAB by K is a constant. Because the capital letter N represents the number of turns of a coil. It has a fixed value. A is the area of the rectangular coil. B is the magnetic field. It is a constant. K is also a proportionality constant. So in this equation, NAB divided by K is a constant. NAB divided by K is a constant. Or we can write phi is directly proportional to I. So here in this equation, we have the angle of deflection. Phi is equal to NIAB divided by K, where N is the number of turns of the coil. It has a fixed value. If we are taken, it is 100 number of turns. So it is 100. It is a constant value. And I is the current. It is not fixed. It ranges can be varies according to the angle of deflection. Here A is the area of the rectangular coil. It is also a fixed value. B is the magnetic field produced by this rectangular coil. It is also a constant. And K is the proportionality constant. So here in this equation, NAB divided by K are constant. Then what is left in this equation? Only I. So we can write phi is directly proportional to I. That is, phi is equal to NAB by K into I. In this equation, NAB by K is a constant. So we can write phi is directly proportional to I. So what is this equation implies? Here we know that phi is the angle of deflection and I is the current. So the angle of deflection is directly proportional to the current that flowing through this rectangular coil. So whenever the current increases, what happens to the angle of deflection, or angle of deflection increases, what happens to the current flowing through the coil? Increases or decreases? Increases. Unmute and say, whenever the angle of deflection decreases, what happens to the current flowing through the coil?
Decrease.
Decreases, because they are directly proportional. So what changes occurs to the angle of deflection? The same changes occurs to our current that is flowing through the rectangular coil. Okay, so this is the working of moving coil galvanometer. Whenever the angle of deflection increases, current through the coil is increases. Whenever the angle of deflection decreases, the current through the coil is decreases. That is, whenever the angle of deflection phi is becomes equal to 0, no current is flowing through the circuit. Okay, that is what is we are actually noted in the case of moving coil galvanometer. We know that moving coil galvanometer pointer towards 0. If there is no current is flowing through the circuit, the pointer is noted towards 0. If there is any current is present in the circuit, it is deflect either towards right or towards left. This is the working of moving coil galvanometer. Okay, so from this we can conclude that, all of you write the conclusion. Here we can conclude that in the case of a moving coil galvanometer, here we can conclude that in the case of a moving coil galvanometer, the deflection produced is directly proportional to the current flowing through the conductor. So here we can conclude that the deflection produced is directly proportional to the current flowing through the conductor. Is it clear? Okay.